Hi, this is Tom Vizzini with PersuasionCoach.com, and I want to talk to you today about the role of emotion in the decision-making process. Now, your brain is a very interesting organ, okay, but it basically breaks down behaviorally to a couple of really simple parts. You've got the outside, which is the reasoning part of the brain. It solves problems. It, looks at, decides, which door to walk through, and all those kinds of things. The day-to-day decisions, your creativity, your ability to adapt, your ability to imagine. A lot of this comes from the exterior part of the brain. Okay, the interior part of the brain, the old brain, the primal brain, is how you get people to move. All right, this is the emotional part of the brain. All right, you will generate emotion here. Now, the second part of emotion is motion. Just keep that in mind, because every time you think about movement, you're going to have to generate an emotion. That means if I'm trying to sell you something, I have to generate an emotion for every step of the process. From hello to what it'll do for you, engage your imagination, get you to have a feeling. Once you have the feeling, give that feeling an action to take, then go on to the next feeling and give it another action to take. And every step of your process needs to generate a feeling. All right? If you don't have an emotion tied to your process, people are not going to move. That's when you're going to generate things like objections. All right? Objections like, I want to think about it. I'm not certain. I got to ask my wife. I got to ask my kids. I got to ask my barber. The sun's not shining. It's a day that ends in Y, and I don't make decisions on those days. Because you haven't generated emotion, okay, a really interesting thing happens, okay? When you don't do that, and you start giving people an avalanche of reasons and logic, because you keep trying to appeal to the outside logical part of the brain. You keep giving it more information and more information and more information, more information. You'll end up triggering an emotion, but it'll be the fight or flight response. Okay? You've tried to trap somebody into doing something, and then what they'll do is lie to you and give you reasons of why they're not going to do it today, or that they're going to do it, and then 2 days later they cancel out, or they don't do what they promised, because you haven't really locked in the emotional part of the brain. Now, there's ways to do this. There's a process we call anchoring, where we plant emotional triggers. There's a way to set a time bomb so that when someone goes home, that the emotion shows up there when they do and perform an action, when they think about something. There's all kinds of ways to generate emotion and have it move people down the process. Okay? What I'm talking about, from this part to this part to this part to this part, as it moves down the process, you're going to have to, amplify or remind people of the emotion. Now, you don't have to do it every time, because we actually have a way of doing that. We call it anchoring. And what we do is we generate an emotion and we set it to a trigger, so that when we get to this part of the process, boom, we fire a trigger, and they automatically go into the emotional. They don't know why. There's no reason for it, but we set a trigger and we go on to emotion. We get to the next step. We explain, we go here and we kind of give them the logical reason that they should go to the emotion, because you need a reason to move after you've got the emotion, and then boom, I'm going to set another trigger, and it's going to move them further down the process. And then I'm going to get to the point where I want them to buy something, or I want them to do what I want them to do. Boom. I'm going to fire that anchor again. I'm going to give that boost of emotion that moves them down the process. Then even after they've already done what I said, I'm going to boom. Oops. Or I'm not going to boom. I'm going to boom. But trust me, there will be booming. But, boom. And I'm going to give them another emotion to validate that what they said was a good decision. Each time moving down the process, triggering this emotion that gets them to take action. Okay? And that's the power of using these kinds of skills to move people down a process, to generate the emotion that later on will give them all the reasons that they want to do what you want them to do. All right? PersuasionCoach.com. Next seminar in Lithuania in July. I'll put a link to it below if you want to know. Check it out. Atlanta is in September. See you guys later. Let me know if you have any questions on this video.